Hi, welcome back to Carrie's Kitchen. I'm Carrie, and this is not my kitchen. Today we're grilling. We're going to be making some wonderful grilled Southwest Portabella mushroom sandwiches. We're going to serve them with avocado, roasted poblano pepper, pepper jack cheese on a toasted ciabatta roll. Fantastic. And when I say toasted, I mean grilled. We're also going to be grilling up some corn on the cob, and I may serve it with a little Caesar salad. So join me as we grill. Got the coals heating up now. Alright, I've got my corn husked and ready to go. It's husked, washed, and dried. So I'm just going to put it on a little plate here. I'm going to drizzle it with some olive oil. I want every cob to have a decent amount of olive oil on it. And then I'm going to use some kosher salt down each one. I'm doing this before I cook it because you will be shocked at how great this turns out. And then nobody has to butter it or salt it when it's all done. And I take each one and I rotate it. All right, my next step is to prepare all my ciabatta rolls. So I've got my ciabatta rolls for our sandwiches. I'm going to get a bread slicing knife, a good serrated knife for slicing, and I'm going to slice them as evenly as I can because that's going to help them to grill more evenly and make your sandwich easier to eat. Et voila. So then I'm going to take a little bit of olive oil and I'm going to dust them with olive oil. The flavor is fantastic and they just grill better. Oh, so good. All right, so I've got my grill grates all cleaned off. The coals are nice and hot, so I shook them out. They're still a little fiery, but I want that because I'm going to be using them to roast my poblano peppers. And then just oil all of your grates. And then whatever you're cooking will be much easier to flip and much less likely to stick. All right, so I've got my poblano peppers. I want to put them on the hottest part of the grill. You want them to get black. They need to be burned. So basically we're going to blacken each side. So I'm going to leave them here for a couple minutes, turn and turn. We're just going to rotate until they're plenty blackened on all sides. Then we'll take them off to cool. By then, the coals will be ready for our portabellos. So these are nicely blackened. I'm going to bring them inside to cool down. So we're going to take these, I'm going to put them in a colander or a strainer just so that the water continues to go through, and I'm just going to rinse it under cold running water, and I'm just wiping off all the blackened bits. Look at that. Look how beautiful. That's what a roasted pepper is. When you buy roasted red peppers in the jar, this is what they've done. They've blackened the skin, and then they clean it off and jar it. So we're going to open it up. Look at that. Peel out any little inside bits and skin. And this is going to get sliced and put on my sandwich. And there it is. Look at that. Gorgeous roasted poblano. I'm going to grab a paper towel. And there it is. All right, time to put on our portabellos. So, I'm going to put the gill side up and find two of my hottest center points. And on they go. I am not dumping this. I'm going to use this to keep them moist and do a double marinade halfway through grilling, okay? So don't get rid of this. Set it aside. And now we're going to put our corn sort of around these because they kind of need to cook at the same time. All right, so this is what we want. See all that bubbling and boiling? So I'm going to move my corn out of the way. Do you see how it's got these little caramelized bits? Those make it so sweet and delicious, and I've done that evenly all around it. So I'm just going to set them the least caramelized side down around the sides of my grill because that's the coolest space. And I'm going to go ahead and flip these guys. Okay, so remember our little olive oil and salt and pepper buns? We're going to put them on here. Keep an eye on them. They can burn very easily. We don't want them too burned. We want them moist, toasted, and warm. And I'm sort of just layering it the way you're going to want to eat it on a sandwich. Maybe I'll split this one. Just make sure there's plenty of moisture and that it's evenly distributed. And then I'm going to put a couple of cheese slices on there. And we're just going to set this aside, and at the very last minute, before I build my sandwiches, after I have the buns toasted, I'll put them back on the grill just to melt the cheese and make sure that the peppers warm back up. All right, so I'm going to take my avocado, which I've prepped and sliced, in the skin. I'm just taking it out and put some avocado on the bottom of each bun. This kind of becomes, instead of your mayonnaise or a dressing, it adds the moisture that you need and sort of a rich creaminess, but you have the good health benefits of avocado and the natural oils and vitamins that are in the avocado instead of adding mayonnaise or ranch dressing or whatever to your sandwich. Put the portobello directly on top of here, straight off the grill, now that that cheese is nice and melted, and we're going to let it set for about 3 minutes before we serve it. Otherwise, it'll slip right out of the bun. That is so good. The creaminess of the avocado, the heat of the chipotle, the pepper jack cheese, the texture and crunchiness of the toasted ciabatta. Enjoy.
My turn.
Wait. Action.
Oh my gosh, this corn.
You can talk if you want.
Sign language.